So I know this tipping thing has got out of control. But a friend of mine and I were having a beer yesterday after a round of golf. And so what happened? Here's what happened. We each got a beer and it was like 16 bucks. And I had a $20 bill. I had cash. Believe it or not, they still took cash. And so the bill came in. The waitress came. She saw the $20 bill on top of the bill that they gave me. And she said, and the words are very important now. She said, "Are you going to want any change with that?" And I hesitated, like just a little bit, because that's completely the wrong thing to say, at least to me. You don't say, "Are you going to want any change?" What you say is, "I'll get you change." And then I go, "No, no, you're good. But don't ask me if I want change because now you're already assuming I'm going to tip you." And I was going to tip you. $4 on 16, I was going to give you 25%. We're all good. But you can't say, "Do you want any change with that?" Because now and I almost said, "No, give me the change." And then I would have left her like 350 just to prove a point. It reminds me of when we were kids, well, old enough to drink, we went to the Grant Motor Inn. On Thursday nights, they used to have baseball trivia night. And we would go there, four of us would go there, and drafts were 75 cents. That's right, 75 cents. Quite a bit more than they were at Strawberries when they were 10 cents a draft during happy hour, but that's another topic for another day. 75 cents. So four of us, so someone would order a round, four draft. It was $3. The waitress would come, someone would give her a $5 bill. This was back in the cash days. And she'd go, "Do you want change?" "No, you're good." $2 every time. $2. It's good. No problem. Still a pretty cheap evening. And then one time, and we had this lovely waitress we'd had for weeks on end, and she got to know us a little bit. And then one time, she dropped off the beer. Someone gave her a $5 bill, and she just put it in her little apron there and walked away. And we went, "Ooh, yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't assume." So then the next three or four rounds, when she came and brought it, and we gave her a $5, "Can we get the change, please?" And we didn't tip her. So then the next week, she was there, but she didn't take our table, which she usually did. Some other waitress took our table. So this went on and then about 3 or 4 weeks later, I don't know what happened, but she asked, "Well, how come? What happened to your tipping?" And we said, "Well, because you assumed we were going to tip you." She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, we gave you a $5 bill and you walked away with it." She goes, "Well, you always tip me $2." We went, "Yeah, but you still have. It's part of etiquette. It's part of it's anarchy if you don't. You just have to ask every time, even though you know you're getting it. You have to say, 'I'll be right back with your change.'" We go, "No, no, you're good." And then that's how society works. So yesterday, when we were at this golf course restaurant, and she said, "Do you want change with that?" It was almost like she was going, "Oh, like I hope you don't," because and listen, and we can get into the whole like, should I have given her 25%? She literally took two beers and set them down in front of us. I mean, that's all she did. So it wasn't like the service was as good as it needed to be. There's no question, but it wasn't like she just knocked it out of the park because there was nothing to knock out of the park. So I'm just, I know we can debate about whether if you pick something up at a to-go counter, whether you should give them $1 or $2. If I go to again, if I'm going golfing and I have a bottle of, like a Gatorade bottle that I fill up with ice water before I go golfing, and the woman at the bar fills it up with ice water, do I have to tip her $1 for just filling it up with ice water from a pitcher? I don't know. Like I'm coming back in later and and then I'll tip you, I guess, but. And then the machines, right? The machines that you get at the table where you enter, and they start like now at 18%, and they have adjectives. They're judging you. Now it's like if you enter, like it'll go 18%, they go good, 20% great, and 25% wow. Have you seen this where they have like little adjectives behind them, and then like 10%, it's like, "Oh, fuck off." Like it's like it's ridiculous. Like the machines are judging you. Like it's getting out of hand. And then who do you tip? Whom do you tip? Whatever the proper grammar is. The server? Okay. The gas jockey? Maybe. The delivery person? Absolutely. The grocery store clerk? No. Why not? I'm losing track. Why can't it just add it into the price? I love it when you go to a restaurant and there's a 10% or 15% gratuity, and then it just says, "We include the," okay, good. All right, those are the prices. And then I can choose to go there or not. And although a couple of years ago, our family went out to one, and then they were still expecting a tip. We go, hold it. You added 15% to the gratuity, and now we have to leave cash. It's all right. Anyway, back to my original point. If you're a server, there's one other thing. staying on the theme of golf, this is another test I do. I used to own a restaurant. It wasn't very successful at all. But so I have some experience in the serving. I used to be a bartender. I used to be a waiter at Earl's. I have some experience in the service industry. And one thing about Earl's, among many good things, is that you were just taught whatever the customer wants, they get. In fact, we used to, the one at Polo Park, I think is there a Tony Roma's there? Or there's maybe another place there. There used to be one across the street from just to the west, across St. James from Polo Park. And this was back in the day, right, in the 90s when people could still smoke. And people, often customers would come in when I was away there, hey, do you sell cigarettes? Can you get me some Players Light? And they'd give you a $10 bill. By the way, that used to cover a pack of smokes. And we'd run across the street to the Domo. There was a Domo right across the street, and we'd buy them a pack of smokes. In the middle of winter, that's what you do. And you didn't tell them, well, we don't sell them, but they're a Domo, I'll get them for you. You just did it, because that's what you did. And sometimes the customer would see you running or see a woman in a skirt, a server running. And was that you just running across the street getting me smokes? Yeah. Well, of course, the tips got incrementally better when you did that kind of stuff. So we were just taught to say yes. Anyway, so we're at a golf course, and the beer woman comes along, and they are generally women, unless you're at Falcon Lake, and then 89-year-old Don, the grumpy beer guy, is the beer guy. But generally, they're women. Hey, listen, I didn't call them a quench wench, right? Okay, because that's not cool. And so what I'll do, so after we've had a round, I'll have an empty can, and they'll come by, and I'll say, hey, do you have, can you put this in a garbage somewhere? And I would say 4 out of 5 of them will go, no, but there's a garbage can, just like when you get to the next hole, there's a garbage can there at the tee box. And it's like, that's the wrong answer, okay? I'm sorry, maybe it's me. Tell me if it's me. If I go, and if you're the beer cart person and I give you an empty, the answer is just take it. And then because you're going right, all you do is stay on the cart paths. You, 6 seconds later, will be by that garbage and you throw it out for me because I'm asking you, can you throw that stuff for me? Don't say, oh no, I can't do it for you, but there's just a thing down. Don't do that. Just take it. If someone says to you, can you take this, throw it out for me? The answer is yes. For God's sake, they do it at 7-Eleven. When you get a Slurpee and you get a straw that are wrapped up, and then you take the straw if you're at paying for the thing, and then I crumple it up, and then the 7-Eleven person goes, oh, let me throw that out for you. The 7-Eleven, who's getting no tip? You can't tip a 7-Eleven person. The beer girl just got $5 for literally taking 4 beer out of a cooler and handing them to us. They're $24, $25. We give her 30, keep the change. That's fine. But they can't take the. No, there's you throw it out. No, you take it. Oh, it's a customer. I know. I'm old and I'm grumpy, and customer service has changed completely. Customer service has gone down, and tipping has gone up. There must be a word for that. Is it the law of diminishing returns? No, that's not a word. That's a phrase. There's got to be some kind of equation. Anyway, it drives me nuts. But just so you don't think I'm cheap, yesterday, the whole thing, the impetus for this whole rant, I still gave her the $4 tip. I just wish she hadn't said, do you want change? Just assume I do, and then I'll give it all to you.